I said in my last video that I would review a couple of fanfictions, and so we're going to start with the daddy of the fanfictions. We're going to start with Twist and Shout. Now, you may have noticed I'm not crying. The only reason why I'm not is the fact that I actually read this about a month ago, and I've had this time to kind of deal with it. If I reviewed it any sooner, I would probably just start crying halfway through the video. Only fools rush. Anyway, why is it so famous? Well, there's a couple of reasons for this. Number one, it's genuinely well written. There's no part of it where you go, sometimes when you read fanfiction and you get to like the 10th chapter and you just hear like, I can do better than this. Number two, because it's an AU, it feels like a normal book. One of my only criticisms of this is the fact that the characters are quite out of character, but I'd say that kind of gives it a reason for it to be more of a, like, just like a proper book. The third reason, which is the most well-known, I think, is the fact that it is genuinely moving. It also feels quite realistic. You can picture these events happening. These characters will be put in this position and this kind of thing will be quite real, because it's set in a time where being gay was not a good thing to be. It was frowned upon, very much so. The way that they react in the society because they are gay, it seems quite realistic. Point 4, as a book, it was an interesting study on love. I think each person thinks of love as a different thing, and I think in this particular book, it's not like it's love at first sight and everything's so happy and all these things happen to us, but we can always get back together and we remain the same people. These characters, the experiences which they undergo, especially Dean, does change them, and it changes their relationship, which is why it feels more realistic. I think this is why at the beginning it lulls you into a false sense of security. Don't be fooled, you will cry. What is quite good though is the fact that even though it does make you cry, it does have the balance of the fact that at the beginning it is quite happy. Whether this is for good or bad, just you start reading it, you go, oh, I don't know why everyone is so crying so much about this story, and then it's because by the time you get to the second half you realise why. But I think the one reason why everyone likes it is the fact that it kind of teaches you a lot about people and how people aren't as perfect as we thought they were as children, but they're still beautiful in their own kind of way. Okay guys, so I hope you liked it. If there's any stories which you think I would like, or one of your stories, I'll definitely read it for you, and I may even just add a comment or two. Comment down below in the doobly-doo if you want any other things for me to do, ideas, or stories, or comments. Yeah, and thumbs up and subscribe. Thumbs up for my Castiel earrings I made.